Well, after a long off season, we are back here with another episode of Out of Turn 4. Hello, guys, and welcome here to this week's edition of Out of Turn 4 and the beginning of season number 2. Of course, we want to welcome the Facebook viewers to the fold here, as this season we will be doing episodes on both Facebook and YouTube. At least for the foreseeable future, we will be. Anyway, coming up on the show today, it's going to be a short one. I'm just going to let you know now because I'm a little busy right now. But coming up, we will talk about the Clash, and we will also announce what might be the 40th entry into the Daytona 500. We'll go more in depth on what happened in the offseason. That'll be the next episode of Out of Turn 4. And then, of course, we start off today with the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Of course, the overall winner was Helio Castroneves, along with Oliver Jarvis, Tom Blomqvist, and Simon Pagenaud, the team from Meyershank Racing. Boy, Meyershank Racing is just having some great luck when it comes to IMSA and IndyCar. Of course, the Indy 500 with Helio. He became, I believe, the first person to win the Rolex and the Indy 500 in the same year last year, but Helio wins again. The team climbed the fence, and of course they all get the watch. I heard the final half hour was pretty exciting. Let me know your thoughts on the final half hour of the race, as well as the full 24. Of course, that was the DPI class. The LMP2 class was won by Dragon Speed's Devlin DeFrancesco, Eric Lux, Pato Award, and Colton Herta. Of course, the runner-up in that was the Renus VK team from Netherlands, Oreca. Pretty exciting to see all these IndyCar drivers at the top of the boards, which is great, especially for IndyCar. The LMP3 winner was Riley Motorsports, Gar Robinson, Felipe Frega, Kyvan Burlow, and Michael Cooper. Again, if I'm mispronouncing these names, please call me out on it. But LMP3 winners there. Then the GTD Pro was the Porsche team of Matt Campbell, Matthew Jaminet, and Felipe Nasser. I know I pronounced the last name right. Not so sure about the second one. The GTD winner was Wright Motorsports with Porsche, Ryan Hardwick, Zachary Robichin, Jan Halen, and Richard Leitz. And of course, Andy Lally, one of the runner-ups in the race. But of course, that was the full list of winners from the Rolex 24. Congratulations to them. Another big thing out of the Rolex 24 weekend, Robert Wickens returned to racing. Pretty big. Robert Wickens back behind the wheel of a race car. It's exciting to see. Of course, I've said it, I believe, here before, and I'll say it again. I was in attendance at Pocono Raceway when Robert Wickens went up into the fence. Probably the scariest incident in my life. Red flag for 2 hours, no updates on how he was doing, where he was, any of that. And then, of course, I met him this past year over at Mid-Ohio. Very gracious guy, very nice guy, to say the least. I enjoyed getting to talk to him about his, I got to enjoy talking to him and, of course, take a photo with him. So, needless to say, very happy about that, and, glad to see him back behind the wheel, something I don't think I would have ever thought he would do. And, of course, congratulations to Robert Wickens. He will become a dad very soon. I'm sure that's even more exciting than getting behind the wheel. But nonetheless, huge progress. I got to give him a round of applause. I love seeing him behind the wheel. And obviously, I don't follow IMSA very closely, as you can tell by my name mispronunciations. But one thing you can gain is that I'm going to be rooting for Robert Wickens in the IMSA Michelin series there, I believe is what it's called. So anyway, I scrolled through Twitter this morning, And needless to say, we saw an update on a team that might be entering the Daytona 500, of course, one that has been rumored for the last 4 years. They will finally have a go at it, and it is Floyd Mayweather's The Money Team. According to the team, they have an announcement very soon. According to sources, it seems that Cascaralla will be the driver of the number 50 for the team. And of course, that's a great pick. Cascaralla, a great young, talented driver, did very well in the 500 last season with Colleague. And frankly, I'm shocked he didn't get a shot with Colleague in the Xfinity to replace Justin Haley. But nonetheless, great to see that we will have Kaz behind the wheel. And if that is true, of course. The other rumor that's been swirling around is New York Racing Team, a team that has not run in a few years. Greg Biffle is rumored to run the Daytona 500 with them. Sources saw him entering the Richard Childress Racing shop, which means that he is getting fitted for a seat. And this would, I believe, be Biffle's first start since he was released by Roush Fenway a few years ago. So wow, we're seeing a lot of drivers returning. But of course, it could be Greg Biffle in the Money Team car. That's a rare possibility, or a slim possibility, but nonetheless still possible. Anyway, we're gonna gear up for a great Daytona 500, a great speed weeks coming your way. Of course, we will have you fully covered here on Out of Turn 4. Sorry again that this is a short episode. I want to go more in depth, but of course, I'm actually cutting it real close on time. I haven't had time to record all week, and but I promise you, we will make more time going forward. There will be more stories. We'll, of course, cover the full speed weeks, the full off-season changes next week on our show. So we hope you'll tune in for that, as well as the Clash. And we will get you geared up for Speed Weeks, which comes up after Super Bowl weekend. Anyway, let's make the pick now for the Daytona, or for the Clash at the Coliseum. Should be a great race. Tony Stewart will be joining Clint Boyer in the booth with Mike Joy. Needless to say, if the racing isn't entertaining, the booth will be very entertaining. But anyway, here's my pick for that race. I'm going to go with Martin Truex. Now, it was a toss-up between him and Joey Logano, but I feel like Truex is starting to get used to things on the short tracks, and needless to say, I think he's going to win this race, of course. But I wouldn't throw Logano out completely. I feel like Toyota and Ford are going to be the breakout teams this year, but again, I will make those predictions on a later episode, and we will also have maybe a Daytona 500 special down the road. We hope you will tune in for that. But again, I apologize for having such a short episode here. I know it's not even going to hit 10 minutes. But again, just so short on time. I just didn't have time to really go in depth this episode. I promise you the next episode I will try to make as much time as I can to go in depth on everything going on in racing. We want to thank you for watching. We will see you back here next week. Until then, guys, goodbye, everyone.